In this section, we'll be walking through how to set up the clinic information in TPS. To get started, we'll hit Next, and the first thing that happens is that a clinic number is assigned. This is done automatically by TPS, and you need not worry about it. Go ahead and click Next. Here's where you can enter your clinic name. It's very important that you enter in the name of your clinic as it was given to Eon Systems, as it does match up with the registration code, which allows you to register your product and successfully use it. If for whatever reason you wish to change your clinic name, please contact us at Eon here first so that we can make the appropriate adjustments and send you a new registration code. Once you've entered your name, go ahead and click Next. Here's where you enter your clinic address. Much like the name, please enter the address given to us here at Eon Systems upon initially purchasing the product, as it is linked with your registration code. Click Next. Here we have the city, state, and zip code, and the clinic phone number, a modem if you have one, and then that registration code I was mentioning. This is a very long code and needs to be entered in precisely as it is given to you. If even one digit is incorrect, it will not register properly, and you will not be able to use TPS. If you do have any issues, please contact us here at Eon so we can verify that you have the correct registration code. Once you've entered the registration code, go ahead and click Next. And up here we have the start date. Now the start date can be the date you started using the program, or it can be the start date of your business or clinic. Just go ahead and put in today's date, since that's when we're getting started. And then we'll go ahead and click Next. Here we have the current period. Now the period is your fiscal period. That is, depending on when you do your taxes, this is going to represent whatever month you are in that tax year. Now most of you will most likely end your tax year on December 31st, so the period will just match up with your month. If for whatever reason your tax year ends in July, July would be your 12, and then August would be your 1. We're going to go ahead and pretend as if we're going off of a December 31st tax year end, and we'll just put in current period of 8, and then we'll click Next. Much like the period, we have the current fiscal year. This is the year that your current business is in at the moment. As mentioned before, for the most part, this will just simply be the current calendar year. If it needs to be something else, make sure that it reflects that in this section. Go ahead and click Next. Here's the end of week for your clinic. This is the day that you've designated as the end of week for your business for statistical purposes within the program. We'll put it as Sunday. Clicking Next shows you the patient default section of the clinic information. Here you can enter a city, state, and zip code that will automatically fill in every new patient added to the program. If the majority of your patients are coming from the same city, state, and zip, it would be wise to fill this information out to save you some time as you're adding your patients. If you find that your patients are coming from all over the place, it'd probably be better to leave this blank so you can enter in their city, state, and zip as is necessary. We'll just go ahead and put in Police, Florida 3344, and then click Next. Here we have the appointment reminder checkbox. There is a report called the Patient Reminder Report in TPS that allows you to print a list of all your scheduled patients within a date range. Checking this box includes all the patients by default. There is a section within the patient details screen where you can override this decision. If you're not sure about whether you want to use the appointment reminder feature, leave this unchecked and you can decide on a patient-by-patient basis later on. Click Next. Similar to the appointment reminder checkbox, we have the SOAP Notes doctor-specific checkbox. If the SOAP notes in your office are going to be doctor-specific, that is, each doctor will have their own SOAP notes, you'll want to check this to indicate that. If the notes are not doctor-specific, leave this unchecked, as it won't matter because the SOAP notes will all be the same, regardless of the practitioner. Click Next. Here we have the tax defaults for service items and inventory items. You can see here we have the tax that we added earlier, along with 2 of the default ones within the program. This is where you can select whether your services or inventory items will have taxes applied to them by default. You can select the taxes by hitting the Control key, which is typically found in the bottom left-hand corner of your keyboard, and holding it down, and then selecting or deselecting the various taxes, like so. For instance, if I wanted city tax, I would click it, But if I also wanted service tax, I would click that as well. If I didn't want service tax or city tax, I would hit Control like before, and then click both of those. Now we do want a sales tax, even if it is 0%, so we'll leave that on the inventory item. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have a checkbox that indicates the Use Fast Payment Autocomplete method on the service entry form. This is a time-saving feature in TPS, which allows you to autocomplete patient payments as they come into the office. For instance, let's say you mostly ran a cash practice. Every time that patient came in, they'd be paying in cash or check, and they're going to pay their entire balance at the end of the visit. With this feature checked on, it will automatically fill out that outstanding balance in the payment section and remember the previously used payment method as before, such as cash or check. This saves you time from having to enter in $80, $25, $75, whatever the balance is, because it will automatically fill whatever they owe. They will then pay you in real life. You'll click the Save button and the payment information will automatically be put in. Pretty cool. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have the Collect Subjective Findings via Signature Pad checkbox. Click Next. And then the Patient Collect Subjective Findings via Signature Pad default. These two checkboxes go hand in hand. The first one signifies whether you're going to be collecting subjective findings via the signature pad. These subjective findings are things such as pain scales and where the pain is that can be programmed into the signature pad via Documenter and will then go on to the patient's notes as the provider creates them. Below here, we have whether this is going to be defaulted for all patients or not. If it's checked on, all patients will have this option when using the signature pad in the office. If checked off, only those who have it selected in their individual patient file will have the subjective findings appear when they use the signature pad in the office. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have a button that says Account Settings. This will open a new window which will allow you to enter in the account settings for third-party companies that integrate with TPS. Click Next. Here we have the window that appears once that button is clicked, and it starts with Dr. First account settings. Dr. First is a third-party company that works with TPS in relation to the EHR Meaningful Use objectives, and most of this information will be discussed later in the EHR videos should you have purchased that particular module. I will scroll through these for now. Here we have the XCharge account settings. XCharge is a company that allows you to swipe credit cards in your office and process them to your bank directly. This information can be synced with TPS, allowing you quicker credit card payment entry as you charge the cards in your office to your account directly. Clicking Next will allow you to add the username given to you by XCharge, as well as the password. Clicking the Hide Account Settings button will remove this window and take you back to the main Clinic Master Detail section. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have again some information in regards to XCharge, the default processing account name, which is given to you by XCharge. And then that's it. If you'd like, you can stop for now, or you can proceed to the next step, where we'll cover entering in the business information.